It is the dawn of a new day. For Carson has changed his stream settings, and maybe, just maybe, that might mean my microphone doesn't cut out. Or it is out right now and no one can hear me. We don't know, and there's no way to tell. Oh my God. Test, test. Hello, hello. Oh my God. Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? Kaylee's freaking me out. You know, when you're having microphone issues, the worst prank you can pull on someone is to say you can't hear them. Oh, Kaylee. Haha! How the tables turn, Kaylee. How they turn. How's everyone doing? Hello. I changed some settings on my stream, so hopefully we don't have the microphone losing connection. I was thinking about this the other day. I turned my hat around for this one because that's how serious it is. All of the live streams that I've done on Zoom for Pro Writing Gate, I've never had a microphone cut out. Which makes me think, and I've been using the same setup here, which makes me think it's not the equipment. It's gotta be the streaming software. So I made some changes. We will see if it actually, does anything. The fingers crossed. How's everyone doing? Hello. I'm gonna wake up and tell my teacher bad morning. Oh my God, Willow, you've turned. That was hilarious. The best part is Kaylee didn't know what I was saying, but Kaylee, I was saying that who knows if my microphone was actually going to be working because I changed my settings. And then you immediately responded, I can't hear anything. And I was like, oh no. Hilarious. Hope everyone's having a great day. For those in the US celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for you being here, taking time out of your day, possibly your holiday to write. And for those who are not in the US or choosing not to celebrate Thanksgiving, what up? Hope you're having a good Thursday. Lantern Valley, glad to have you here. First time in almost 2 weeks. Is that right? I know you've popped in a bunch, but maybe this is the first time in a while to actually do some writing. For those who had a crazy Thanksgiving dinner, what were the standout foods? Any deviled egg enjoyers? Also, is Zerg here? Zerg, what do you think? I don't know if deviled eggs have made it all the way down to Brazil. I doubt it. What do you think a deviled egg could possibly be? Because the name sounds like rock and roll, Baked sweet potatoes with tons of butter and brown sugar. I love that. I'm a fan of the sweet potato souffle with marshmallows on top. Hey. Zarek says, I saw one today on Instagram. It looked ugly. Well, how rude. All right. We got some other people. We have Yuck All says, I'm Australian, so no Thanksgiving. And then almost back to back, we have Megan. Megan says, in Australia, but having an American friend, so I'm having a Thanksgiving dinner tonight. Oh, that sounds awesome. Quintessential Thanksgiving foods. You got mashed potatoes. You got mac and cheese. The deviled eggs, I think that's more of a Southern Thanksgiving staple. I grew up in the South, so the deviled egg is was always there. What else did we have? I feel like, of course, you got to have turkey. We've always had ham as well. Like a honey baked ham, not brand name. Think I'm rich? Are you kidding me? Buying brand name honey baked ham? Come on. Deviled eggs probably has a demon inside. Yeah, that demon's called flavor. Thank you. I'll be here for the next 2 hours. Well, whatever you're doing today, you chose to come and hang out in the live stream, and that means we're going to make some progress in our stories, which is important because for those of us who are only writing on the weekdays, aka me, and maybe the couple people like me, there's only 2 days left in Novella November, today and tomorrow. Deviled eggs is when the devil whispers in your ear, take the yolk of the boiled egg, mix it with mayo and mustard, and put it back in the egg. Honestly, if that's what the devil's whispering in your ear, could be worse. Could be way worse, I assume. Great side dish from Yakal's mushy peas, made from split peas, not fresh. The flavor is crazy good. Crazy good. We don't have many split peas or split pea dishes, at least in my area or growing up or anything like that. Also, deviled eggs have got to be one of the strangest ways to prepare a food. Take a raw egg, hard boil it, peel it, cut it in half, scoop out the yolk, mix it with mayo and mustard and seasonings. And then if you're in like a fancy place, put it in a piping bag and put it back in the half shell of the egg, so it looks just like an egg. Who came up with that? Dang genius. That's who. Dirk says, doing good, have burgers on the way so it might disappear. You know what? Always fair, always reasonable. I will always assume you have burgers on the way, and I'll never be offended. Why not season the egg without all those extra steps? And why not angelic eggs? All right, what would the opposite of a deviled egg be to make it an angelic egg? I think you still got to hard boil it, so you get the portable nature of a half of a hard boiled egg. But maybe if a deviled egg is savory, the angelic egg should be sweet, and that makes me want to throw up. Blech. I'm so intrigued by the deviled egg now. I almost want to try it. Megan, here's the great thing: is it's honestly a pretty easy dish. You know, you hard boil the eggs. That's the hard part. You hard boil them and you peel them and you cut it in half. And then everything else is just take the yolk out the middle, mix it with a couple things, put it back in the hard boiled egg, soft shell thing, you know? That's all it is. So if you wanted to try it, if you have eggs in the fridge, which we keep our eggs in the fridge in the US, you can make it tonight. And you could partake in Thanksgiving halfway across the world. Deviled eggs are named because deviled means seasoned with spicy things like pepper and mustard. Also spicy in the term of traditionally spicy, meaning spiced. Spiced with seasons, not like spicy like hot. Don't you need a pastry pipe to make deviled eggs? If you're trying to make them look fancy, then you would get like you could do like a pastry bag, but you don't have to, really. As long as you get the filling back in the egg, it's all going down the gullet. So, not spicy novels. That is correct, Cinder. You're crushing it today. All right. I'm trying not to burn all of our time with tangents on stuff that you might not care about. So, a little housekeeping stuff right off the bat. Tomorrow is a special live stream, and I'm really excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a little bit of writing, but mostly celebrating all the work that we did to get through Novella November. So this time tomorrow, if you can be here, you can be part of this live event. Not only are we going to be talking about how the month went, what to expect in the future, we're also going to be saying, here's all the stories and their genres and the word count and the summary of the writers in our community who did Novella November. And if you would like to put your story in the mix, it'll go up on a PowerPoint slide while we talk about it. There is a thread in the Discord that you can go add your information to, and I'll put it all into a PowerPoint slide. Yeah, that's right. We're so professional around here. We're using actual Google Slides, not PowerPoint technically. I highly recommend you come hang out. If you can't make the live stream, great news. All of these are available after the fact. So if you put in your story information, but you can't attend the live stream, you can always tune in after. It was really fun last year. We talked about the stories that were written in the community, and it was a great way for people to be excited for what other people were writing. Someone would be like, I wrote this book about pirate vampires. And people in the comments would be like, that sounds sick. I want to read that. And it was really fun. So come hang out, put your story information in the Discord. There's a thread in the Novella November chat that we have. And that'll be a lot of fun. Vampirates is legit. We all think so. We all love vampirates. It's just a simple fact. On top of that, there is a fun ending to the live stream tomorrow. If you were here last year, there was kind of a crazy ending to the whole live stream. We sent it off with a bang. That is happening again. Something fun that you want to tune in for. I'm excited to share it with you. And then, of course, November ends, but that's just the start of December. If you haven't heard, we're doing something called the 12 Chapters of Christmas. This is in Discord that is totally free for you to join and come participate. The cool thing about this is you upload a chapter of a story that you've been working on, and everyone who wants to partake in this 12 Chapters of Christmas uploads one of their chapters. And then it's a big community drive to read other people's chapters and give feedback on what you liked about them, what you think could be improved, interesting ideas that you want to point out. And that means, hey, you just got a whole bunch of eyes on your chapter and ideally learned a lot about your story and your writing process. Totally free, totally open to anyone who wants to come join. Link to the Discord is in the description. Come hang out. I read in a book once that PowerPoint steals your soul. That's Justin. And that's why we're using Google Slides. My presentation is the second most reacted. Will, are you talking about your the story information you put in the Discord? Second most reacted? That's pretty cool. Kaylee says, I thought it was photos that stole souls, not PowerPoints. Well, a photo is worth 1,000 words, and a PowerPoint is actually worth 2,000 words. So by simple transitive property, a PowerPoint does more damage to your soul than one single photo. You learned it here first. All right. Okay, enough tiptoeing around it. It's time to do some writing. I had an okay sprint earlier today. Got 1,000 words in my Upon Careless Gray Hills story. Now I get to dive into my other story for Gnome Camp. I mean, Tiny Doors. God, Gnome Camp's such a bad name, but it's so funny. I'm not 100% sure exactly where I'm going in this next scene, but I'm trying to make something worthwhile. So I have all my specific things I want to accomplish in Act 2. It's all about finding my way to them and giving my characters a chance to develop. So that's what I'm doing today. Whatever you're doing in your story, I hope you have fun doing it, and I hope you make a bunch of progress. I'm going to stop yapping, and we're going to start our first sprint. So, 25 minutes on the clock. Let me restart that up. I'm turning my microphone off, turning the music up. Good luck, everyone. I'll talk to you in 25 minutes. See ya. hello. I thought my microphone was muted. Sprint number 1 is done. I hope I didn't scare you with my slight cough. My bad, my bad. How'd everyone do? I gotta say, I'll tell you a little bit about what happened to my chapter, because I started writing and then I selected everything and I deleted it because that was fast, I agree, but that was a full 25 minutes. There is a habit I've caught myself in that I'm trying to break, and that is sometimes when I'm writing, I find myself wanting my chapters to flow almost linearly, almost chronologically, in the sense of like, okay, this chapter ends, like, now we're in the next day in the morning, or like this chapter ends at, you know, this scene as the sun's going down. Now we're in the cabin at nighttime. And I think that's a bad habit. Part of me, my brain wants to make the story that feels like every step is just the next step in the day. And that's not really how stories work. So I started writing a chapter and then I realized something. And it's a piece of advice that you hear a lot when it comes to short stories. Anyone who's done short stories in our Discord has probably heard this advice at some point. And that is, you want to start your story as late as possible, and you want to end your story as early as possible. Basically making sure that you're not wasting word counts and wasting time writing a bunch of introductory stuff before the actual event kind of happens. So I started writing this chapter and I was like, the whole point of this chapter is like X, Y, and Z, but really what's going to be happening in this chapter is we're going to this dinner party. And then I was like, then why am I not just writing about the dinner party? Why am I writing about the drive to the dinner party? So I had selected everything, I got rid of it, and then I was like, let's just skip to where we need to be. So I hope that makes sense. It's a lesson I've been trying to internalize and kind of catch myself if I find myself doing it. We got lots of good words here. 554 from Willow, 225 from the writer Lee, who joined halfway. I saw that. We got 422 from Zerg, plus some edits and 2 nuggets. Those are rookie numbers. Megan says 311 words, not too good for me. Hey, I feel the same way. I ended this only with 400 something words. Normally I think I'm normally about 700 words. So I think including what I ended up deleting, 600, 700-ish. I feel that sometimes that happens. Ariana 379, Pasqua 290. Let's go. Derek says, "Oh, I get it. You don't want to skip time between chapters too much." That's the tough part is sometimes you do want to skip some time between chapters if there's nothing happening between those chapters that's worth mentioning, and that's okay. You could skip ahead a whole week in your story, you know. But just making sure that everything still feels cohesive. That's the hard part. Justin 583, killer sprint. Let's go. Lantern Valley 307 of pure gold, and I believe that. Jason, I rolled through 2 months in one chapter. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get it. Started at the dinner party, but my characterization, though, you know, there's the idea that you're an overwriter or an underwriter, and the overwriter in me is like, write that extra scene, get all that good detail down. You'll fix it later if you need to. Haley says, I'm suffering from the pitfall of epics. So much walking. There do be a lot of walking in epics. You're not wrong. Justin says, you want to know how to write dinner parties? Watch the Gilmore Girls. And I think that is, honestly, there is a lot of good stuff to take from Gilmore Girls when it comes to dialogue. But also some of it doesn't translate super well into books, in my opinion. Like Lorelai interjecting so much with a joke, like a joke and or a reference every, like, between every actual line of dialogue would be crazy in a book. I bet there's some killer Gilmore Girls fanfics that are all about the dialogue. That'd be fun. Well, it says, I'm about to put one of my characters in danger, and it adds on to what my main character can do in his more restrictive umbrella form. There you go. Why wait, though? Kaylee says, time is a hard thing for me to keep track of because I have a ticking countdown and my characters are on opposite sides of the planet. So it's midnight for one character and noon for the other. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you got yourself a unique situation having such a sprawling epic, Kaylee. Have you ever read Ready Player One? I have, Justin, I have. It's easier to be an overwriter than an underwriter because cutting is faster and easier than creating. Okay, that's a good point, Zinder, but let me play devil's advocate, because in Starlight Farm's Kennel for Talking Dogs, I very much was an underwriter. I was like, here's exactly what happens in the story. I'm gonna write every scene of what happens in my planning for that story. That's what I have. That was my first draft. And then I read through it and I was like, oh, I need some foreshadowing here. I need to set up this moment here. Oh, I should add a scene here for like extra characterization. And it felt pretty easy and seamless to just plug in those little extra scenes because I kind of had all the necessary events happening back to back. Anything else that I added, I knew wasn't really changing the pace or the requirements of the story. It was just improving what was already there. Versus overwriting, you write everything, and then, which is what I've been doing for Upon Careless Gray Hills, and then you look at what you're writing and you're like, oh no, like, I can't cut this scene because it does so much to make my characters feel realistic and have a great relationship. So like, it would suck to cut that scene. It's necessary because this book is nothing without the character relationships. When in reality, what you should be doing is saying, this was a really cool character moment. How can I shove it into another scene that does more? So I have a fun and important scene that also does character stuff. This scene is weight bearing. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Sounds like you did the right key scenes, major points method. It wasn't the intention or anything. It was just that when I was writing Starlight Farms, it kind of felt like the path from beginning to end was a lot clearer in that story than what I've been doing in my other stories. Maybe that's part of me having planned it more. Maybe that's just the nature of a story that's a little bit more simplistic. I don't know. But there are some good things. 17,000 darlings. That's a lot of darlings. Birth your darlings so you can kill them. I mean, isn't that what we do? We make great characters and then we just hurt them. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. 17,000 darling. I love that. I was just going to say scene merging is what you need to do. Yeah, Justin, that's when it comes to editing, right? That's like one of the major things I'm looking at. A long time ago, I did a video on killing your darlings. And the primary sort of, lesson to learn wasn't that like kill your darlings means X, Y, and Z. But it was like, look at the scenes that you've written. And ideally, if you can have a scene contribute more than one major thing to your story, then that's what you want. So having a scene that only does this one thing, like this scene exists so that my characters have a fun, cute little moments. How can we take that single use scene, eliminate it, and create another scene that does more, right? So yeah. What? All right. It looks like we need to do some writing ASAP. The chat disrupts the stream. Zerg, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down, okay? Look, I know you think it's all fun and games, making jokes in chat, but you're taking it too far. Zerg specifically. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the fan on. All right. I'm just kidding. Let's do some writing. 25 minutes on the clock. I hope you make some amazing progress. I'll turn the music back up. Good luck, everyone. You know, sometimes I wonder, by the way, the sprint is over. Sometimes I wonder, is this timer running right? Because I just got lost in my scene and I swear it's probably been like 10 minutes since we started writing. But I check all the other times and it all adds up. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you. But his interest was at the height of a mountain, the very tip. I have a whole sprint break to consider how I can do a fun twist on a creme brulee in my story. What am I doing, dude? This probably won't even make it to the final edit, but maybe it could be fun and maybe it will. How'd everyone do? This sprint was a lot better for me than my last one. I'm sitting at 1,100 words. Feels pretty good. Zurg, 440 words and so many shadows being forward. Lantern Valley, 1,300. I sometimes forget how fast I type until I get a full sprint in. It really is like, if you get in the zone, you can get a lot of damage done in one sprint. Lee says 695 words so far tonight. That's a good productive live stream right there. And I am typing slowly. Also, Willow said 297 words. Not as good, but still progress. Progress is progress. It comes in waves, you know. Chicken lover, hello. Don't know how many words, but I just started a new chapter and I'm very excited. I love that. Gotta carpool some nerds around. I can't even think of a good joke. There's a sick burn in there somewhere. Justin, 334. Past squad, 259. Nice. All right. Sounds like we had a pretty good sprint. Justin's got to land on that 333. It's too satisfying to just let this opportunity slip by, you know? Yeah, I'm writing a scene that's, I'm definitely in the fun and games moment of my story. Trying to build you know, I feel like one of the things that really shows here, let's do a little sidebar here. A little sidebar. Something I did in Upon Careless Gray Hills that I am doing in this draft too, and I don't know if I'm doing it in the way that I want to do it, but this is my intention. I've found that there is a very like tangible way to show two characters who are kind of strangers, kind of starting to get to know each other. There's like a very tangible way to have a defining moment in your story where they officially become like friends, you know? And I think that kind of reflects a lot of what you see in real life. Like I think back into my past, like being in school and stuff, or friends in college that I had, where we kind of crossed paths a couple times and it was like, oh, like I'm aware of who you are, like I enjoy when we chat, but like I don't really know anything about you. But then it takes like one specific event or moment or evening where you're kind of paired together and you have the shared experience, and then from that point on, that's like the beginning of your real care, like your real relationship with that person, the moment you like have that shared experience and become friends. And so in Upon Careless Gray Hills, I very clearly have that moment in that story of everyone almost being just like co-workers and kind of keeping a little bit of distance from each other. And then there's a defining moment where it kind of lets everyone take a breath and get to be each other, like be around the real version of each other. And then from that point on, everything just feels a little bit closer, a little bit more realistic. And so that's also what I'm trying to do in this scene. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm giving my characters a chance to say like, okay, we are officially taking the steps to be more than just passing acquaintances, but to have this moment where now I feel like you're my friend. And I kind of like that. Yeah, so I don't know. 800 words tonight so far from Willow. Need 700 words until I'm at 28k. Nice. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a little peek at Track Bear real fast. Leaderboards, Novella November. We're getting pretty close to the end. Margot at 213%. Wild. Pasqua, dang Pasqua. Look at that jump. Good job, Pasqua. Very impressive. Where's Chicken Lover at? Are you on here, Chicken Lover? 96%. So close. 4%. After you log your words tonight, that's going to be the real test. Because there's only one more writing live stream. Of course you can write outside of that, but there's only one more writing live stream. 4%. Ooh, that's 400 words. Come on. You could do that tonight, Chicken Lover. Tonight. Ryder Lee, 47,000 words. Lee, how close are you? How are you feeling about are you going to be able to finish 95% of your goal? So close. So you got Willow only, what, 3,000 words away? Chicken Lover, I believe. I believe in you. Ariana, 23,000, 7,000 away. That's going to be a tough one. Do we have Havoc Gray in chat? Havoc Gray's been doing a pretty good job. I like seeing them logging their words, even if they're not in the live sprint, even if they are. Zerk says, I am not writing 99 pages. I said that up with stars in my eyes. You know what? Sometimes that's how Novella November starts. We're all ambitious. We see what life could be like if we could just finish that draft. I get it. I get it. Oh no, you're negative 99 pages under par. Kaylee says, my goal looks a lot more reasonable now that I dropped it down to 40k. Let's go find Kaylee here. Ooh, 6,000 words. 6,000 words. I mean, look, you write tomorrow, you write on the weekend. I mean, that seems pretty feasible, Kaylee. If only you don't feel sick and have family all around. That kind of stuff just makes it all harder, you know? Zurich says, I did write 130 pages this November. And honestly, look, that sounds pretty great to me. Willis says, I can barely write 1,000 words per day without these sprints. I'm glad they've been productive, you know, and I hope we've had fun too. J-Sam, I'm locked out of Track Bear. Oh no. Oh no, J-Sam. Where are you at on here, J-Sam? Where are we at? Because I feel like you've been making good progress on your stuff. Well, I thought, J-Sam, I thought you were in here. Am I missing something? Okay, maybe you meant you got locked out and never got to fill it up or something, but Kayla says, I probably won't reach my goal by the end of tomorrow's live streams, but I still might pull it off before December begins. That'd be exciting. That'd be exciting. Now, warning, we are not doing the full 2 hours of writing sprints tomorrow. It's probably going to take us something like 30 minutes to go through all the different stories and celebrate the ending. So the writing part of the writing stream tomorrow will be less than normal. Forewarning. J Sam says, I don't know what happened. Hold on. maybe you're up here. Oh, there's Justin and there's Jeff, but no J-Sam. Well, sad. Zinder says the end is just the beginning. So true. So true. Oh, Justin. Streamer's best friend. Reminding you to like everything. Yeah, so I said this in my sprint in the Pro Writing Aid live stream today. My biggest warning to everyone is don't do what I did last year, which was you end November and you're like, I've worked so hard, it's time to take a break. And then you take a little break, maybe you do a little bit of writing, but then family comes around for Christmas and Christmas time happens and you don't write over Christmas. And then the new year happens and, you know, there's just other things to focus on the new year. And then January comes around and you're like, okay, it's time for me to get back into the habit, but other things come up and next thing you know, it's April and you've barely written anything. Don't do what I did last year. Or else you're going to be working on the same project come next November like I was. Enough rambling. We got one more sprint here, and then we're going to wrap things up. Willow says, I don't really have an extravagant Christmas. We just pick a day. The distant family comes together, brings some food, has a potluck. That sounds nice. Kayla says, I really want to continue the habit I've developed of doing at least a little writing every day and having a goal for the month. I think it's not a bad idea to set yourself a monthly goal. Now, here's the thing. I've said this time and time again. I still pretty firmly believe it. Like, it's in these big November events, both with what Pro Writing Aid's doing and what we're doing in Novella November, picking a word count like 50,000 words is kind of just a catchy thing to do. Hold. The black tea is not caffeinating me enough. You may choose to set your goal just to be an hour commitment. However much writing you get done, you try to do 5 hours a week. I mean, if you're writing at the same rate that we've been doing in these live streams, writing 5 hours a week is still going to get you, I don't know, 3,000 to 5,000 words, maybe. So something to consider. It doesn't have to be that you have a word count goal. It could be Zerg's been doing pages. TrackBear supports hours and chapters and scenes and all kinds of stuff. Willow says, I want to write at least 1,000 words every day. Feasible. I think that's very feasible. And when you boil it down to what it takes, you're probably looking at saying, okay, 1 hour a day I want to write. It is such a frustrating thing. And all writers will agree with this. It is such a frustrating thing when you haven't written in a while and you look back at the past 3 months and you were like, if I just wrote for an hour a day over those past 3 months, I would be done with this book. Because it doesn't sound hard. And yet it's pretty hard to do. It doesn't sound hard. And all you do is you just kick yourself. If you're like me, you just kick yourself and you're like, what excuse did I have? Well, I couldn't afford 1 hour less of watching YouTube on my phone to actually write on my, drives me crazy. Anyways. Justin says, I've been following Save the Cat writes a novel and I'm just breaking into 2 now. That's perfect. 2 is really where the story opens up, you know? Oh God, the 1 page a day math is crazy when you look back and see you could have had an extra 50 pages. Yeah, bad. Chicken Lover says, for my New Year's resolution for 2025 was to finish the first draft. Chicken Lover, how close are you? Because that would be so cool to see you be able to knock that out before we hit 2026. I'm rooting for you. That would be awesome to hear. All right. Before we get sidetracked again, let's go ahead and let's do our last sprints and wrap up our second to last Novella November live stream. Ooh. Scrivener thinks I wrote negative 6,700 words on the 20th. That is wildly incorrect. I have noticed Scrivener in long in projects that have, what's the right way to say it? Maybe it's in Upon Careless Gray Hills. Let me see. Every now and then I also get a little error with my word counts. Let me check something here. These statistics. I've gotten mixed results sometimes with what my word counts are looking like on projects that get kind of complex over time. I thought it was just me, but it sounds like maybe you've had that happen too. Interesting. Zerg says, Willow, as someone that did a 180,000, I'm assuming that's a word book, it would be remiss not to warn you that sometimes publishers don't like big chunky books. Conversation for another day. Chicken Lover says, I'm on chapter 4. I've got like 4 knobs worth of work still to do to finish the draft. Chicken Lover. How much coffee can you get your hands on? See where I'm going? Let's do a sprint. And then we'll wrap up the day. We got just enough time to knock it out. But I think you know where I'm going with that. All right, everyone. Good luck. I'll see you in 25 minutes. Hope you make some good progress. Final sprint is over. All right. How'd everyone do? I left it at 1,800 words for the overall sprint. So I think my last sprint was about 700, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Fast Squad says those went by way too fast. Look, I don't know. It's just like you turn that timer on, you put the phone away, ideally. You got nothing else to do but write. I swear I go into like a trance sometimes. I felt myself look, writing on camera is also a very different feeling. You're very aware of what you're writing, but even in these past 2 or 3 sprints, I've felt myself completely zone out while I'm writing. So that time, it goes by fast, but hopefully it leads to some good writing and some good progress and yada yada yada. You've heard me say it a million times. Kaylee says a whopping 6 words. Kaylee, that's tough. That's tough. You gotta beat the slump. 473 from Willow. Zerg 650. Got to a big conversation. Things move fast when you write things like that. Lee, not many words, but I'm about 900 words away from 50K. I might finish a bit later. And Chicken Lover made it to 10,000. Let's go. 239 from Justin. And what, Willow, 1,200 to end the day. Good progress. J Sam says they only got 400. Hold on, 462. Ain't no only about it. Justin says I also had to figure out what I was doing for the scene. I'm outside of my notes. I'm in the same place. I'm less confident going into writing those scenes, but sometimes I have more fun. Kaylee says, I realized halfway through this last sprint, I'm used to having coffee in my hand as I write, and I haven't had any coffee today. Might also have something to do with the slump along with the sickness. That's a dangerous combination of things. No coffee plus not feeling good. Rough day, rough day. Kaylee, I hope you feel better soon. It stinks to not feel good. Some track words. I got 1809 in Tiny Doors. I can't remember if I put in my words yesterday. Nice. And then for Upon Careless Gray Hills, I ended 16. I think maybe for the rest of December, I'm really going to prioritize Upon Careless Gray Hills in my writing, because that one's coming out soon. And it'll give me some time to sort of sit on and decipher what I'm doing in Act 2 here of Tiny Doors. Got to be diligent about putting these words in if you're going to have a cool graph. Otherwise, what's the point? You guys got me paranoid. Oh, God. All right, let's try this. All right, we are gonna wrap things up before my mic totally goes out. Make sure to put your words in for Track Bear if you're tracking. Make sure to join tomorrow. Hopefully we don't have audio issues, but we will have a great fun time celebrating the work that we did. We almost got through with no audio issues. Almost. And again, of course, again, the 12 chapters of Christmas coming in December. So just next week, we'll start sharing chapters and giving some feedback. So look forward to that. Thanks for joining me. I hope my audio's coming through fine. Let's finish strong. Good progress, even joining on Thanksgiving. Hey, you showed up, you put the work in. That's pretty sick. So everyone, take care. Have a great rest of the day. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Tip of the hat. Goodbye. Goodbye.